Te Aroa Flavel.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker, ngā mihi nui ki a koe te tīmatanga mai o tēnei o ngā tau. Ngā mihi o te tauhau ki a koe o tira ngā mema o te pāremata. Ki ngā mema Māori, e poto tēnā koe, haere mai ki ro te whare pāremata. Mr. Speaker, I had to rough it over the holidays and go for a week of break in Rarotonga. It was hard work. The sweat dripped off my brow as I lay out there and dozed in the nice warm water. But somebody had to do it, and I chose myself and my wife. But while I was away, so I'm sort of one of those people that when you go away, after about 7 days, I got to come home. I'm a sort of fellow that can go away, sure, enjoy a little bit of a rest, but 7 days is about it. 2 weeks at a stretch, but 7 days about me, I got to get home. And it really brought home to me, I suppose, after that, when I did get back, just for the rest of the holidays, pretty much stuck around home base. It brought home the old adage, really home is where the heart is. And so over that time, it was good to reflect. I had the opportunity to think about my paradise, not just about home, Aotearoa, because as I say, I reflected on, Chingas, we're pretty lucky here, and people say it time and time again, but everyone's paradise is different. In Māori situations, many Māori talk about the centre of the universe, whether that be Waipiro Bay. Nobody knows about where Waipiro Bay is. It might be Ruatoke, it might be Ruatahuna, it might be Horohoro, who knows. But they're small communities because people feel comfortable. And I felt comfortable when I went back to my paradise in Rotorua, look out across the lake, go out and get 20, oh no, sorry, that's over the limit. It was about 5 or 6 fish. About 5 or 6 fish that I was able to get, and I'm a law-abiding citizen. So that was home base. And the one thing about home base, Mr. Speaker, for me is I also had the opportunity to be a speaker on our marae as we farewelled some of our dead. We had 2, 3 tangi that I had to take care of our people at home. And as I say, you feel comfortable at home. It's sort of like falling into a beanbag. Everything fits around you, or going back to your own bed to sleep, which I'm sure all of us members of Parliament will understand, living in motels for a lot of the time. So this is home. It's important to us. It's an important part of who we are as a country. Māori, Pākehā, immigrants, whoever you are, home is where the heart is. And that's pretty much where we're going to be spending a lot of our focus. If it's so important to us, then we have to give it attention and look after not only its resources, but its people. We're unique. This place is special. We must look after it. Mr. Speaker, I tended to take for granted that whole notion until, as I say, when it had to be involved in these activities of tangi. But I know that sometimes it's not all that rosy, because when you're at home, you get your own people who either love you to death or kill you off for not doing enough. And that's one of the sort of stumbling blocks, but it's beautiful because you know at least when people give you attention, they love you. Mr. Speaker, that, I suppose in a sense, tēnā koe, Minister, that in a sense is what whānau ora is all about. Being able to live as whānau, live in well-being, live in control of your life, being able to take care of yourself and also of others, and others also to take care of you in times of difficulty. It would be no surprise, sir, that in this House, that whānau ora is the Māori Party cornerstone policy, and it's about supporting each other and every whānau to build that resilience that is needed, starting with the most basic block, the whānau, the family. Mr. Speaker, strong families, they shape the nature, they shape and nurture strong individuals, communities, and ultimately a stronger, more connected and resilient nation. And I tried to put this to an audience yesterday when I was opening a wharenui at Te Puke High School, not far from, just over the hill from your electorate, Mr. Speaker, when they were opening a new wharenui, or rededicating it. And it was funny because I looked at all the staff and they were all welcomed with me, which seemed strange at the time. But I tried to tell the audience when asked to say a few words that the idea of having wharenui on school buildings, on school premises, it dates back to probably about the 70s and 80s, when there's an opportunity to bring Māori family kids, to give them some sense of pride, some sense of ownership of the school, and have a place where they felt comfortable. And yet, here we were, 20, 30 years down the line, and we had an audience over there, which were mostly teachers. None of them were Māori from memory, coming on with me as a visitor. And I thought to myself that we've got to get away from thinking that things Māori are only for Māori. because there are so many things in the Māori culture and Māori society that are wonderful for this nation, and yet sometimes it's so close to us we don't recognise it. And I hope that as a part of where we're taking this nation into the future, that people do take that line. It's probably significant even now as we talk about the possibilities of a new flag, that debate continues. But let's think back 10, 20 years ago when Hine Wehi Mohi first sung the national anthem in Māori. She was condemned, she was knocked over, she was put down. Now, every day when we stand up in front of the All Black test or whatever it might be, people stand proud by that simple move towards which has changed this nation. And whānau ora is all about that, changing this nation, changing how we do things. And I hope that as we talk about it into the future, that we maintain that whole focus on whānau. I've got to say that and make it absolutely clear for those who might be a bit slow on the uptake, that whānau ora is for all whānau who live here in Aotearoa, whether they be Māori, Pasifika, Pākehā, Asian, otherwise, whānau ora is for everyone. Let's make that clear. And I want to also make it perfectly clear that whānau ora is not just a program to be delivered. It is not a program to be delivered by NGOs or a community group. It's not to be a rapid response service to just fix up whānaus quickly and say we've done our job, where the paternalistic hand of the state comes in over the top and sort of sorts things out. No way, that's not what whānau ora is all about. We're about seeking to shift the power back from providers, agencies, politicians and others to the core unit of our existence, whānau, families. So our ultimate mission is to enable families to take back the control over their lives. We believe in giving citizens the means, the knowledge and the power to take back control over to take back control over their lives so they can access the services and also understand how to utilise them. So, Mr. Speaker, whānau ora is the Māori Party flagship policy, and we'll be following that up right through to the election. It is a policy that is like no other, and perhaps that's why some of the members of this House have struggled to really grasp it, because we're so used to that paternalistic attitude of the state and coming in over the top. So what does whānau ora look like in practice? I suppose I can't talk for anybody else, but I kind of like to hope that as a Member of Parliament who espouses whānau ora, that I live that sort of notion. My family, I have 5 children, all of them are speakers of Māori, and some might say, oh, well, that's nice to have, but in fact it hasn't disadvantaged them in any way, because the oldest is a doctor, the other 2 are teachers, 2 in the film industry, and 1 who took off this afternoon to Mexico as a part of a kura kaupapa Māori, because Spanish is their second language, English is their last language. So, or third language. So, Mr. Speaker, that's whānau ora in practice, and make no mistake, sir, a part of that is obviously the importance of Māori language into the future. We must be very careful to believe and fall into complacency about the state of Māori language. It is in a precarious state, and of course the Minister of Māori Affairs will be taking a draft Māori language strategy out for consultation very soon. The foundation of that strategy is that whānau, hapu and iwi will have rangatiratanga over te reo Māori, and we're encouraging people to take a part of that discussion and report back. Of course, it does involve a new model where there is a electoral college which will basically oversee things. But anyway, that's up for debate and discussion as we head into the future. So we've talked with, when we have, I suppose, cultural strength and pride, then that will lead to social and economic outcomes for all New Zealanders, and so we would encourage that discussion. Finally, sir, I just want to talk very briefly around, I suppose, the leap of faith that's going to be needed for this country into the future. I talked to the audience at Te Puke not to be box things into just Māori things over there, and we don't have to be a part of it. We can't be a part of it. I talked to them about the opportunities that are available for them to be a part of the Māori world and for us to move together as a country. I think they got the message, and I also told them about the constitutional review, which was at the bigger end of the scale around the discussion as a country. I think that they will take that message up, because they believe also that we can move forward together in this country. But we must move forward together where we learn off each other, take the good things of each other's culture and move us forward as a nation. I look forward to taking the rest of the Māori Party candidates into the next election, where we will be taking and highlighting whānau ora for the best betterment of this country as a whole.
Thank you. The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And